right. Hi there. My name's Shannon. I'm the music and visual arts editor for Willamette Week. I'm here with Muriel from Church of Film, who does all the programming for that series. Hey, Muriel, thank you for being with us today.
Hello.
So just to start out, could you tell us what you've been doing from your day to day? How have you been passing time in quarantine?
Well, it's honestly, not to make a light picture of a pandemic, but it's been not bad for me work-wise. Like, all I've ever really wanted is tons of time to just dig into projects. So I've gotten a huge backlog of work I wanted to do film-wise done. And I've started a streaming service because obviously film exhibition is no longer a thing for now. I do occasionally run out of steam because I don't get to screen, and that's depressing. But I have no problem filling the time of the day. I have books to read. I've been teaching myself Czech. I have all these film projects. I basically go to bed thinking about starting again on my projects.
So have there been any films that you've dug up during quarantine that you're particularly excited about?
Yes, I've done a lot of work. I have been working on a trilogy of films by the radical Bengali filmmaker Muriel from the late 60s and early 70s. I've been doing the subtitling on what are restored prints from India. So I hope one day I get to screen those. A great Mexican student film, El Grito, which I've been reading about forever. Finally have a copy of. Do you want to screen? I've been building programs. There's a program I want to do on the darker side of French surrealism, which is short experimental work. So I have a lot of things I'm very excited about that I've dug up and I've been working on. I've got a huge, by now, backlog of things that I hope to screen one day, if ever that comes back.
So yeah, now that Church of Film can't hold physical screenings, you have Church of Film TV on Vimeo, which is basically your own streaming service. So could you tell us a little bit more about the impetus behind that and what sort of films you look for to put on Church of Film TV?
Film TV is obviously an ad hoc service. I am very wedded to the idea of film exhibition, of a communal experience of film viewership. Streaming is not ideal for me, but it's been a good, for me, outlet for a lot of films that I really love but haven't been able to screen because they're not screening quality, because there's certain issues with them. So I've been putting up a lot of things I love. Just a diversity of material is what I hope to do. And that's been really great. It's really helped me to show a lot of films I've always wanted to show, but for whatever reason didn't work in a screening environment. Or some of them I have screened and I'm just putting them up for fun. But I do hope at some point to get back to exhibition. What I love about a theater is you get in a dark room, you're sharing the same dream with everyone in the room. Everyone's sharing that experience together. You can't pause it. You can't go to sleep and come back to it. You have to sit there and watch it to completion. And that's almost liberating in a weird way, to have that choice taken away from you. You can enjoy the luxury of time too. You can watch a 4-hour movie in the cinema and just be like, you know what? I'm in this dark room for 4 hours. I can watch a 5-minute take about people walking down the street and just enjoy time, which is something I think when you're even at home, you have a constant feeling that I should be being productive. I should be doing this. So I need to mop the floor, blah, 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 blah. 1,000 things you could be doing. So I want to bring back at some point exhibition. I don't know what that looks like. And I think every challenge is an opportunity for radical new possibilities. I don't know what that looks like drive-in situations or what, but we'll see.
Yeah, have you been able to at all like keep that spirit of community alive during this digital era?
I mean, I have a hard time with it. I know the community's still there. They've been very supportive. You know, a lot of people have written to me, told me they missed the program. Get, they've donated or tipped, but like for me, I do feel like I don't see the faces. I don't see people enjoying the films. I don't see people talking or hear people talking about the films after. So I don't know like if I'm just like yelling into a void sometimes. It's very hard for me. It's not. I had hoped as to with Church of Film to always bring a sort of community spirit, and it's hard to just be sitting behind a computer and feel a broader community, a digital community. I guess I'm very old school.
Yeah. So the other thing that's different is that, once Church of Film screened in a physical space, normally I know you would choose films that had not been distributed in the US to kind of like avoid
Yeah.
licensing restrictions. So, but now that you're posting everything online, are you at all worried about someone like coming after you and be like, hey, you can't be posting these things online for free?
It's always the worry that somebody, owns or has some sort of claim of ownership of intellectual property that you could not possibly have guessed or found, and that you will run into problems. But I mean, if I'm being perfectly frank, I just have sort of a rebel spirit, and I just want people to see cinema, and I hate the idea of intellectual property being sort of a capital gatekeeper for just people experiencing great art or learning. And so I just, I press forward. What happens, happens. If I do run into trouble, it happens, and we'll see what happens. But we'll go from there. We'll cross that bridge when it comes. But
Yeah, so I know like a lot of us are spent in quarantine. A lot of people are spending time watching movies and streaming stuff, which I know you said is already not your ideal format. Um, but the kind of movies that you're posting on your streaming service are like really, really hard to find online. They're hard to find anywhere. Um, what would it be like in an alternate universe if you were stuck in quarantine and all you were allowed to watch was Netflix? You
I think I would go insane. There's a lot of wonderful things on Netflix. Sure. But there is a sort of, it's a homogenous product, and a lot of it is created basically too by a monopoly. Just last year, Paramount versus the United States was overruled. The 1947 landmark ruling that basically said you can't be a producer, distributor, and exhibitor. You can't own every single side of filmmaking and basically have a monopoly on film. This was done for things like Amazon and Netflix so that they could be both producers and exhibitors and basically own the whole market. So it's a terrifying dystopian idea that the image is, after so many decades of people fighting to claim the image back for marginal voices, for independent voices, that we're moving back in the direction of film monopoly, because film is a powerful propaganda tool, and it always has been. Even before Birth of a Nation, it's been used for nefarious purposes, and you don't want that you don't want the image to be owned by one monolithic, untrustworthy, obviously, power. But yes, I know always, it always has, that there will be a outlet for uh, an independent view of cinema, but it's just a matter of fighting the new fight with new tools, I guess.